First, did you guys see the Super Bowl?
Yeah!
Yeah? A lot of people, how are we feeling? Pumped? Pumped? Who were we cheering for? The Rams. Bandwagon over here, wow. Yeah, but so the Bengals, one of their captains before they went out, what he said was that for that game, they were playing that game for Harambe. It's true. It's true. He went out there. And if you guys don't know who Harambe is, about 6 years ago, 2016, a little kid fell in a gorilla exhibit, and the gorilla protected him. But, I mean, much like the gorilla Harambe, the Bengals ended up losing. So, COVID-19 was pretty bad for everyone, right? A lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people had to quarantine, right? A lot of people had to wear masks. But I have one question. Where was ISIS? Where was ISIS? Huh? What do they got? They got sick days at ISIS? What? So you're telling me this organization doesn't fear the U.S. government, but they fear a virus? I mean, come on. There are other competitors in the industry, right? The Taliban in the terrorist industry. They managed to kill thousands of people. They drove out the U.S. military, and they took over a whole country. But what was ISIS doing? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We're pretty good at masking. But the Saddam vaccine, it's not cutting it against the Delta variant, So, unfortunately, for the next 5 beheadings, we're going to have to move to Zoom. A part-time terrorist organization, I guess. And also another thing, where's the female representation in ISIS, huh? Why aren't there more women? Like, women can kill people too, right? Like, you don't think the Queen of England has killed some people? Bitch, she's murdered some people. I'll tell you straight up. But, I mean, think about that ISIS Instagram, too, They would post all the ISIS sorority pictures. It would all be in a row. And the beheading videos would be out constantly. It would be great. So, switching gears here a little bit. You guys seen the movie Ratatouille, right? Ratatouille. You guys know the big chef from Ratatouille, right? Gusteau, he's the big French guy. So he has this critic come in, just one critic, right? Tells him his food is shit. Now, a normal person would say either, well, let me improve my food, or fuck this guy, right? But not this guy, not Gusteau. What does he do? He just dies. One mean comment. This guy's so sensitive, and he just kicks the bucket, right? What's the deal? That's a lot like people on Twitter. One rude comment, and it's just the end of it. It's like getting roasted in middle school, too. Like, someone's like, oh, you're shit at Foursquare. And it just destroys it. Now I know what it's like to be a 2-star restaurant on Yelp. So, there's this other thing about me. I run a meme page on Instagram. It's kind of bigger, I've been running that shit for like 5 years. A lot of people say, do you get women? I got one, it's all right. I get the money, I get a little clout, it's a good gig, right? But I'm afraid of something. I'm afraid that I can't get a government job. It's not even like I want a government job or I'd enjoy the work. It's just like I want to see what the FBI and the CIA, what they do, But I'm afraid, I'm going to come into that interview and they're just going to say, he posted a meme and impact font. Can't let him near the Epstein files, he might rat us out. Oh, he stole all his memes off of other people. Wow, he might steal all the gold in Fort Knox. Or maybe this guy's made one too many ISIS jokes. And he might be a terrorist, who knows? Thank you guys, that's my set. Our next comedian he's been doing this for a while, very experienced, very talented, and he's so funny. Give it up for Sammy!
Thank you guys for being regulars here. If you guys have anything to say about this bandana, man, wait till I fucking get my green card. Dude, I'm gonna have the US flag painted all over my dick and balls, dude. I'm just gonna be running around scaring old ladies, which is the best way to celebrate your green card. It's also the best way to lose your green card. Dude. So, the Milk Parlor is trying to do a lot of new things. Like, for example, they're trying to do a nice lineup with these chairs, dude. Great job on these chairs, by the way. They look like a electrification chair in a prison in Baghdad, so good job on that, dude. So, I've been in the US for 5 years now, and I was in an ice cream store, and I had my camera with me, because I like taking pictures. That was around 3 years ago. The story took place in a small town called Harrisonburg, home of the Dukes. And they're better than like Virginia Tech, dude, honestly. It's more of a fun school, like they got better frats. Anyway, so I was with my, I was by myself, and I happened to have known the lady that works the cashier. She's a good friend, and we talked for a little bit. It was a fun exchange, a platonic exchange between a man and a woman. And then I went on to do my own things. I go outside the store, and I'm holding my camera, flipping through my pictures. I was like, all right. I get to my car, and I drive home. But that's not the end of the story. This friend of mine texts me, and she said, Sammy, I have some bad news. While you were standing outside of the ice cream store, there was a cop inside the ice cream store. And there was a lady who complained to this cop and told him, there is a sketchy Hispanic guy standing outside. And I was like, you motherfucking lady, you know? You couldn't even get that race right. I'm okay with being the cops called on me. It's flattering for a 5'8", 150 pounds guy to really be thought of as an intimidating force in this country. 300 million people, and I'm the scary one. Yeah, it's nice. But you know what's the best part? Best part about being Arab, man? There's not a lot of perks. Every race has its own perks. Let's be honest. Every race has its perks, no matter what. When you try to deny it, listen. So, when you're in a fight situation, or in a situation when someone wants to beat the living shit out of you, the best part about being Arab is you don't need to be a big guy like that guy over there. Like, look at this guy. This guy looks like Thor himself. Like, Jesus Christ. But you don't need to be a big guy. You can be as scrawny as possible, man, and a chat comes in trying to beat the living shit out of you. You know what you do? You go like this, and you're like, hey man, do you see this wire? I'm gonna pull it. And when I pull it, we all go together. So, that's my joke about death. You guys all laughed at it, so fuck all of you. Like, seriously, you guys found this funny. Speaking of the Hispanic aspect of my life, one time I was walking in Virginia Tech, and now I happen to be a part of the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. Yeah. How did that work out? So I was walking in a room, and out of nowhere, I entered this room, and they're like, oh, you must be for the Society of Hispanic Engineers. we're actually gonna host a trip to Orlando that's fully funded. Fully funded. Trip to Orlando. Please join us. I was like, yeah. Okay, dude. I was like, órale, putas, I'll be Hispanic for that shit, dude. Fuck. Start listening to Bad Bunny. You know, my pickup truck rides a little lower. No, but dude, naturally the Arab in me is always negotiating. Naturally, I never got a good deal in my life if I didn't have to work for it. That's my mentality. It's whenever someone puts something on the table, you're negotiating. So this is the first time in my life where I just get a deal and I'm like, no negotiation, not necessary. I mean, like, it felt like, you ever had these times when you're with your girlfriend? I mean, this is probably imaginary. When you're like, no. That's not the joke. God damn it. You guys don't think I follow women doing this shit? I don't, really. So, it felt like when you're arguing with your girl, man, and you're right for the first time, and she agrees on every, like, fellas, has any of you, first of all, how many of you guys here dating? Like, can I see anyone who's on a date right now? Okay. How long have you guys been together?
3 years.
Holy fuck, dude. Dude, that's, like, American marriages start and end in 3 years. God damn, dude, that's good. So, Mister, you guys fight a lot? No? That's the unhealthy relationship. Have you ever been, man, in an argument where you're like, she just agrees with everything you say? Has that ever happened to you, dude? No, fuck no, it's imaginary. That's what this deal felt like, dude, when they were like, yeah, you're coming. Next month, I was in fucking Orlando, dude. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Man, there's a lot of nice white people here, man. I love white people. You know what I love more than white people? White parents, dude. They're so nice to their fucking kids, man. They have this thing called being supportive of their passions, man. I don't fucking know what that means. So, dude, foreign parents are savages, dude. I swear to God. Like, are there foreigners here, by the way? Just so I'm not outnumbered. Like, is there any? Nice. Okay, is this one of these Northern Virginia foreigners, or not really, or is that a real foreigner? I want a guy who came in with, like, sweat on his balls, just like, I was like, man, it was so tough to get to this US right now, like me. Anyways, dude, I remember one time I was 16. My dad's is a very rough guy. He grew up in a bad time. And listen, comedians overuse the stereotype that foreigners, kids have to be doctors and lawyers and engineers, and they keep making jokes about that, dude. I hate those jokes. I hate those jokes because they've been so overused. But I was sitting down with my dad, dinner table. It was a very serious conversation. I was 16. My oldest brother, Haidar, was there. That's his name. And we were sitting, and my dad's like, Sami, we need a doctor in the house. We're talking about college plans. We need a doctor in the house. I was like, yeah, but my brother Haidar just graduated dentistry. Those are not real doctors. Dude, this guy just graduated 6 years, like sweat, fucking tears to get into dentistry school. Graduated, is doing amazing work. He's doing better than I ever will. And my dad's like, he's not a real doctor. Dude, like, they fucking say shit like that. Like, I was at my friend's graduation. It happened this semester, last semester. And I was sitting, and right next to me was a Korean dad. And I decided to say hello to him. He said, you're half Korean? Fuck yeah, dude, nice. There's a lot of people cheering for that, I could see. What's the other half? White. Yeah. Dude, I wish white people were more proud of their whiteness, dude. There's some good shit with it, like. Well, first of all, you're tall and shit, so that's good, you know? That's because of the, yeah. So, so anyway, so I was sitting next to this Korean dad. And I decide to say hello. You know, I sit next to people, I like to be as friendly as possible, make them feel comfortable. So I say hello to him. And he takes it as the cue for him to start complaining about his kids. So he's like, I have 2 shit kids. One of them is just starting college. The other, he's graduating on stage, this fucking 29-year-old. It took him that long to graduate. He's got a statistics degree. I'm like, dude, he's graduating, give this guy a break. But anyways, so that I see that this joke landed very well. Switching gears. In 2012, I was in Iraq. I was visiting. I lived in the Emirates. I feel like I had a good life. We had a middle-class life. There was no war. We had running water, electricity. Nothing was cut off. You know. So I visited Iraq to meet family and to kind of get a sense of what life in a different country feels like. So, you know, I was kind of a little shit. Like I was, like I don't remember how old I was, but I was the kid who went to Catholic school. I went to better schools than my brothers went to. They went to government schools. I went to a pretty decent Catholic school, and so I was a little bit more stuck up for my age. I see they're having a great time. That's why they're leaving. I was a little bit more stuck up for my age, man, and I was walking in the streets of Baghdad, cars going by in all different directions. It was nighttime. Nightlife is fun. Third world country nightlives are fun if you ignore the quality of the water. And then, so I was walking, man, and this fucker, this guy, decides to start his falafel stand in the middle of the street, man, right? And the fucking white in me was like, well, there's no zoning laws around here. Where's your permit, sir? Is that organic or cage-free? So he starts his falafel stand, and man, you know when you fry stuff? Falafel is a fried dish. You guys had falafel before? Yeah, okay, not that sabra shit, the real shit, where the guy's sweating his balls off from the fucking thing and you're eating it. Did you ever had that? Yeah. Yeah. Good. God damn, you guys are fucking uncultured dudes. Anyway, so I was walking, man, I see this guy, and his stand was not the most sanitary place on earth, right, man? There was flies everywhere, so I tell my brother, I have a second brother named Amar, I tell him, Amar, there's flies everywhere, this is not sanitary. And so he looks at me, he's like, if the flies weren't there, the food would not be as delicious. And I was like, holy fuck, man, give me a bag of that shit, dude. Fuck yeah. You guys have been amazing, man. Thank you so much, man. Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't you guys think that this guy should have been in Seinfeld, man? This guy, yeah, you know what I'm saying? See the white people laugh at this shit. I love that, man. It's my favorite show.
Thank you, Sammy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was very underwhelming, by the way.
Fantastic performance by Sammy. Give another round of applause. Let's go. I went to Catholic school too, but I was too ugly, so they didn't touch me. I don't know. All right, for our next performer, he won a Nobel Peace Prize and a Heisman Trophy. Not actually, but ladies, he's single. Anthony.
Hello everybody, what's going on? I did not win that Nobel Prize, no. Alright, I want to tell you guys, so I still have the mental capacity of like a middle schooler, so to me, prank calls are still the funniest thing in the world. And like every weekend I always try them, and I never get them, but I finally had like the best prank call ever, and I want to tell you guys about it. Alright? There is this video game center next to where I live, and what you do is, you go there and you play video games. So I call in, and the dude picks up, he's like, how can I help you? And I just start lying. I pretend to be this really angry father. I said, my son is there right now and I want to talk to him. He said, okay, what's your son's name? Keep in mind I don't have a son. So I say, his name's Joseph. And he says, all right, what does he look like? He's white. And he said, all right, I'll try and see if there's any white kids playing any games. So he goes, and he comes back, and he says, all right, there are 2 white kids. One wearing a hat, one not wearing a hat. Yeah, the one with the hat, that's mine. So this dude, I'm still lying to him. He says, all right, what do you want me to do? I said, bring him on the phone right now, I want to talk to him. So this random kid, this like 14-year-old prepubescent kid, who I've never met wearing a hat, gets on the phone, and he's like, hello? And I just start yelling at him. I was like, you stupid kid, I told you to stop playing those games. I told you. He starts crying, he's like, that's not my dad. The dude gets back on the phone, he says, yeah, I guess that wasn't your kid. I said, that's right, get the one without the hat. He says, no. He says, that's not our policy. Listen, I want you to come inside and come find your kid. I said, all right, I'm gonna come inside, I'm gonna find my kid and beat his ass. Dude's like, okay, well, I swear to God he said this. He said, okay, well, I can't stop you. You're the father, you know, you can do whatever you want. What? Dude, you're telling me like this 50-year-old guy just came in and started beating this like 14-year-old that he's not gonna do anything? It's the worst employee ever. Whatever. Listen. I wanted to ask you guys a question. I want a serious answer. Does anybody here watch that TV show Friends, the comedy? Yeah. Right? It's a show. It is a show. So let me tell you something. When I first came to this country, I didn't really speak English well, and I didn't really get the culture of the United States. So, is Anna here? No? Is she pretty or never mind? Sorry. I gotta try on stage. Dude, I completely lost my train of thought. No, okay, about the TV show. So, I didn't speak English well, and I didn't really understand the culture of the United States. And so when I first came, they always tell you to watch TV, because that's how you learn about the thing. And so I tried to watch the TV show Friends as a kid, and I didn't really get it. I was too young, I didn't understand it. It wasn't funny to me. And so, after a few years, I became fluent in the language. I learned the culture of the United States and white people. And so I finally learned what's funny and what's not funny. So I decided to tune back into the show, and I watched it again. Still not funny. No, it's no, seriously, if you like Friends, you should just leave. It's not a fun... Actually, wait. If you like Friends, stay, because you'll think I'm funny. Okay? That's not a funny show. It's the worst show. I don't need a laugh track to laugh. You know why there's a laugh track? Because it's not funny. Yeah. Like, if someone just starts laughing right now, everyone laugh. Someone start laughing. See? It wasn't funny. There's nothing, you can't just add something. It doesn't make the show fun. All right. I want to tell you guys a story, and it's mostly true. It's 99% true. All right, so I'm not a very party guy. I don't really go to parties. However, my friend said, listen, let's go to this party. I know the best party. I said, okay, what do we have to do to get in? He says, listen, all that matters is the ratio. So, we had 2 guys, me and my friend, and 7 girls. That's a lineup. 3.5 women per man. That's like back home, okay? So me and my friend, we're walking there in like the freezing cold. It's like a 2-mile walk. We're not ordering an Uber for the girls. So we get there, and we get to the party, and everyone's so excited. All the girls are really happy, and we start walking in. Dude at the gate goes, wait. Dudes are $20 each. Dude, I was a feminist 5 minutes ago. No, are you serious? $20 a dude? That's not fair. Whatever. I'm not gonna blame them. If I was a woman, I would go for free every time. But so me and my friend were like trying to bargain with the dude. He's like, how about $5? He's like, no. So we say, okay, we can't afford this, and we start to leave. And then the girls call us and they say, don't worry guys, we can sneak you in. So they hold the back door open for us, and we sneak in the back door, something I've done many times in my life. And we're finally in the party. And I gotta tell you something, this is the irony of the party. even though it was 20 bucks a dude, it was still a sausage fest, all right? The only girls at the party were the girls we brought. And so I'm looking around like, you know, I like to talk to women. I'm straight. Do you believe me? Okay, anyways, I start looking, I start analyzing, and I see a girl, and I'm about to walk up to her, and then, wait a second. Now, before I tell you this next part, keep in mind I'm very open-minded. But this was a man dressed as a woman. I was like, oh, I'm straight. And so I didn't think anything about it. I said, whatever, he can do whatever he wants. It's his life or her life, whatever. And then the strangest thing happened. This guy walked up to him/her and said, hey, would you like to dance? And he said in the most deep masculine voice, he said, no, leave me alone. So I was really confused. And then 5 minutes later, I look again, the dude dressed as a woman is now dressed as a man. And then it clicked. This was not a man who wanted to become a woman. This was a guy who wanted to not pay $20. Dude, it was like night and day. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you, this is the worst thing about the party. That dude was the hottest girl at the party. Thank you very much, that's my set.
Tremendous, yeah. That guy was playing a little Among Us there, I guess. I don't know. The little mole. You ever see that movie, The Thing? It's kind of like that. All right. So, for our next comedian, this guy he's our treasurer. We give him $10 every semester to be in this club. He's a tremendous guy, great comedian. Please give it up for Ayush.
What's up? How we feeling? That's kind of a weak response. I'm gonna need something better than that. How we feeling tonight? Right. This crowd low-key looks like a Young Life group, but I'm not. That's fine. That's okay. Just a lot of white people. I feel outnumbered, intimidated. At our tabling event, we table to, like the frats do to gain awareness for our club. And these cops showed up to our event. They were just like, hey, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, we're tabling. And they were like, oh, cool. And then we told them about our club for like 20 minutes. They just like stayed there. And then Azana came, Azana, our president, he's black, for some context. He left and then he was walking back and everybody was like, go, fucking run the other way. Because, they're cops, But I was expecting them to be here and then I was gonna roast them. So I'm kind of disappointed about that. My Starbucks co-workers are here though. Give a round of applause for them. Yeah, I was about to say, with the amount of white people in this room, you better give an applause to them. They serve you guys, dog. It's a competition. Like them and the police for the amount of how much they serve you. That's a competition. On Monday, there was like a computer science job fair thing in Squires. And I was walking through and I was like, shit, there are so many Indian people. It looks like a family reunion, goddamn. I was like, oh, brother Akshay, hello. How are you? How's your mother? Yeah, okay. I just it was crazy how many Indian people there are. And my parents, every time I bring it up to them, every time I bring up, I'm doing civil engineering, they're like, why can't you do computers? I'm like, because, no, that's some nerd shit, dog. These people went in there and sold themselves like they were nerd whores. They were like, yeah, I'll crack your firewall. No, I'm not going to do that. Anyways, to get to my actual set, that was just off the cuff. Yeah, I'm talented. No, just kidding. My actual set, first things first, I could never be a therapist, right? Because in order to be a therapist, you have to be patient. You have to, understand, have a non-biased viewpoint, right? No. If I was a therapist and someone told me something, I'd be like, oh shit, this bitch Jenna ain't shit. Let's go jump her ass. Come on, right? I don't have the patience to be a therapist. My girlfriend wants to be a therapist, so, that's her dream. That's her dream, but I can never do it. Can I get deep with you guys for a second? Thank you. Imagine if you said no. I would just be depressed up here. And you guys would be like, fuck you! And I'm like, oh. Right? For some context, my parents have an arranged marriage, like most Indian marriages. I don't know. Are you guys like, what? That doesn't even make sense. An arranged marriage, it's like playing Guess Who in real life. Like, my parents saw each other 2-3 times before they got married, and they're like, yeah, okay, for lifers. Like they didn't know who the other person was, and then they moved to America, and here I am, you know. But having an arranged marriage, like it comes with a lot of drawbacks, right? And here's where the deep part comes in, right? So there have been multiple times in my life where my parents were like, yeah, I'm just gonna dip. They threatened it. They didn't actually do it. They were like, yeah, I'm going to go get the milk from the store. And then they never got the milk, because I was like, I'm lactose intolerant, right? But they never got the milk, right? And so, hold on, my brain just farted, sorry. Anyways, so I think it's important for people of color, coloreds, if you will, to talk to their parents about mental health. Colored people, where are you at? Coloreds, my coloreds. Right. Talk to your parents about mental health, because you need to deconstruct that stigma. And if that doesn't happen, you'll get a funny conversation out of it, right? Mine was a little something like, you know, Dad, I'm depressed. And he was like, depressed? What do you mean depressed? You should be depressing my foot. I have a foot ache. That's the only depression you should have. And then he was like, it's all in your head. Like, no shit. I thought depression just came out of my penis all the time. Like, that's where it's centralized. You know, while we're on the topic of my penis, now it's gonna get a little weird. We're gonna talk about my penis. Yeah, sorry. Recently I had a yeast infection. Right. So, ladies, it's more common for a lady to get a yeast infection, but a guy can get it too. And, you know, my first thought when I got the yeast infection was, and this shows you like how much of a dumbass I am. My first thought was like, shit, can I make some bread out of this yeast? Out of this penis yeast? And then my second thought was like, oh shit, I've got yeast on my penis, right? Like, it probably should have been the other way around, but it wasn't. Just because I'm fucking stupid. Not yesterday, but the other day, me and my friend were just in Squires, and we were like, hold on, this takes some actions. We were like, bro, I'm breakdancing so much. I fucking love BDSMing so much. And that's just like, that's stupid shit every guy does. That we just like make stupid shit up, right? And so I went into the doctor and I was like, I've got yeast on my penis. And then he was like, show me. And so, you know, I had to whip it out. And no guy should like showing their soft penis to anyone. If you do, you need to get registered as a sex offender, not to vote. That would be good. But so I show him, and then he gets down on his knee, takes a look, and he's like, I can't see. Pulls out his magnifying glass. I was like, don't you need a microscope for this instance? But he pulls it out, and he's like, yeah, that's a yeast infection. I was like, yeah, no shit. What else could it be? And then he prescribes me this pill, right? And I go pick up this pill, and it says for vaginal yeast infections. And I was like, I fucking showed you my not vagina, but you're the doctor, so okay, yeah. I take it, it doesn't really do anything, and so I'm like, well, fuck. I go back to the doctor, I'm like, your shit didn't work. Hook me up with the good shit. And then he does the same routine to make sure I still have my yeast infection. Magnifying glass. Yep, yeah, it's still there. And then he prescribes me this cream, and then that works. But, you know, in order to cut the tension, right, to cut the awkwardness, I was like, you know, I'm part of the Virginia Tech Stand-Up Comedy Club on campus. We do shows every other Wednesday at the Milk Parlor. And he was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Don't worry. If I come to one of your shows, I won't heckle you. I fucking hope not. You've seen my soft dick. What? What do I do if I tell my joke and I'm like, hey, what's the deal with airplane food? And then from the back I hear, I've seen your soft dick. Like, what do I just freeze in that instance, right? Actually, I was kind of hoping for one of you guys to say it, and then I would have been like, it's because I just finished blowing out your dad's back. Yeah. Anyways, that's my set. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Hold on. Before I go off stage, I'm the club's treasurer. You know, figure they made the Indian guy the treasurer, right? So if you want to give us donations, come up to me. Venmo. We take Venmo. We take cash. We take whatever. Follow us on Instagram, concon.vt. But you know, really just for the donations. You can come up to me, and I'll give you my Venmo. And if no one donates, I'll just cry in the corner. Yeah. Thank you guys.
That was a good set. Oh my god. If I had a doctor come in and heckle me, I just had a surgery, he could be like, yeah, seen him shine your leg. It wouldn't be as powerful, I don't think, but it'd be alright. Alright, so another few business items. We have this is the donation cup actually. So, you know, you can Venmo Ayush, but we have the cup too. So, it's right there on the stage. Also, too, shout out to the Milk Parlor for hosting us. They make great sandwiches and great drinks. So if you want to leave the night a little bit more happy, go ahead. And then also, shout out to comcon.vt, again, our Instagram. Go ahead, drop a follow. All right, without further ado, we have what makes our club more diverse presenting next. So she's the sole female in the club. So yeah, that shows how diverse our club is. But give it up for Sage.
When did you guys get tall? What the? Okay, yes, I'm the only female performing, so women, join, you know? I'm, you know, only girl. I'm also single, which is weird. I don't know why guys aren't falling at a female amateur comedian's feet. It's quite odd, but you know, my friends and I were talking about it, and a lot of our guy friends had Tinder, and they were talking about Tinder, and they're like, oh, like, Tinder's so interesting, and we were like, okay, we want to see our friends on Tinder, more like, kind of just to make fun of them, pretty much. So yeah, we got Tinder, but it was pretty much just me, and my friends and I, we would sit around in a circle, like, looking at Tinder. We'd be like, okay, pros, you know, he's 6'2", he likes the same music as you. Cons. Oh, that is a photo with a dead deer. Okay, I'm gonna swipe on that one, right? You know, Tinder also has this fun thing like called verification, which is quite odd. It's like, oh, you know, here's this guy, his name's Todd. He's 5'7", looks like he hasn't showered in 4 days, but he really is him, okay? That's not a catfish, all right? That is not a catfish. It's never the hot guys. It's always like a really creepy dude that isn't gonna get me to swipe on them anyways, so it's kind of like, this is very ineffective. There's also a lot of like people with their school, right? A lot of Virginia Tech, but every now and then a Radford slips in there, right? There's a Radford. And I think honestly, it would be more effective for them to just be like, I have syphilis in their bio. Or like, I have chlamydia, right? Unfortunately though, I think they just don't know how to spell it. So that's probably why they have Radford. There's a lot of guys that use group photos. It's like just a bunch of guys, and it's kind of like a fun game of Where's Waldo. And to figure out which one like is his profile, I just pick the one I find the least attractive. And normally it works out. Sorry guys. Yeah, there's also a lot of guys that say like, I'm on here to find the girl of my dreams, so swipe left if you're playing games. First of all, Tinder is a game. Anyone who thinks differently is wrong. I didn't go on Tinder to find a boyfriend. I went on Tinder to judge men based on looks and for male validation, right? And I'm honestly like, if you are looking for a wife and kids, go to Grindr. I know a lot of guys on there have them, so you can have your Cal Jacobs on them for sure. Yeah, so we also have a lot of cadets on Tinder because they're, I'm assuming, lonely. They don't get a lot of interaction. But like the guns and the camo is just not doing it for me. And ladies, if you're swiping on cadets and then you're confused why they disappear after you hook up, it's the camo, okay? That's part of their training. Yeah, and there's a lot of frat guys, right? Frat guys are on Tinder. And honestly, I will swipe right on a lot of frat guys unless their vibes are atrocious. Unfortunately for frat guys, a lot of their vibes are atrocious. So I am not swiping. I also I'm playing this fun little game where every guy, like if they're in the same frat, I'll swipe right on them no matter what. So that like if I, it's kind of like Pokemon cards. Except for like Fun Cool Monsters, it's like a bunch of 5'9" like white guys. And they're all just like really like rapey vibes, right? Okay. We also have athletes. Virginia Tech kind of monitors everything they do, but apparently not Tinder, right? So there's a lot of athletes on Tinder. We have lacrosse, basketball, soccer. I'll probably swipe right on all of those. Wrestling, it's gonna be a no for me. I had an argument once with a wrestler, and I'm pretty sure like 90% of them are on steroids, or like they're all just have a lot of anger issues, or it's both. That could also be, that's a possibility. Hockey players, I like a guy with teeth, so I don't want to be like making out with an 84-year-old. You know what I mean? Like those vibes. So unfortunately, they normally get the left swipe. But yeah, we also have like guys who like post with their ex-girlfriend, which is so great. And then they'll like, some of them, this is the best one, they'll scribble out the girl's face and be like, this could be you. And I'm like, while you're at it, take the red flag emoji, put it over your face, okay? That would do just as well. Or there's catfishers, right? They haven't done the verification, obviously, but sometimes it's just one photo of a male model. Just a photo of a male model and like no bio. Add 4 more photos, say you're a Taurus, you'll get them. You'll get some sorority girls, maybe not DGs, some KKGs possibly, okay? We also have the guys with no photos of themselves. It's just like ocean. And they're like, I promise I'm not ugly. Just swipe and you'll find out. And I feel bad for these guys because all these people are assuming they're ugly. And I have a simple solution. Just put a photo of yourself. It'll probably work out. That'd be great. So yeah, if you've seen me on Tinder, no you didn't. So that's all. All right, bye.
Yeah. Haven't you ladies seen, you guys know the fishing pictures too? When guys have the fishing pictures. Oh, isn't that so attractive, right? That's the most attractive thing. Oh my God. All right. For our next performer, he's a man, this is his first time performing stand-up comedy. He's from Spain, not like south of us. But you gotta know your geography. Europe, Spain, right? Give it up for Pablo.
Let's go, Pablo!
Geography major right there. So like you heard, my name is actually Pablo. No, my parents did not think that through. Every time I can guarantee you that 50% of the time I meet someone new in Blacksburg, it'll be like Pablo, like Pablo Escobar. Out of all the famous Pablos in the world, like there's Pablo Picasso, the painter, Pablo Neruda, the poet, Pablo, the penguin. like my response is usually, yes, smartass. My parents decided to name me after the biggest drug lord in Colombian history because they saw a bright future ahead of me. I can just imagine, the conversation. So, should we name him Pablo? And my dad would be like, Wally Bill's character, so might as well, So, yeah, shout out to Narcos for not helping me get a Tinder date ever. I actually showed up my freshman year. I went to a physics class. I'm an IEC major, engineering. And any IEC people in the crowd today? Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, we're broken the same way. We all took SQC. So, so I was in this physics class my freshman year, and after the lecture was done, I walked down and I walked up to the podium to talk to my professor to introduce myself. Now, if you are a student, there are two reasons why you would do this. The first one is, you're a good student and you want to walk to the professor to see if you want to do research, or maybe you've known this professor for a while and you want to say hi. The second reason is you read the syllabus and you realize there's no way in hell you're going to pass the class without sucking up to the professor. I was the second option, okay? And so I walked to the podium and I introduced myself. I'm like, hi, I'm Pablo, I'm engineering. I hope we're going to have a great semester. And this man goes, Pablo? You mean like famous one? This man was convinced I had a bag of cocaine up my ass, okay? And he was so convinced that I started to question if I had some cargo down there. And so, I can't confirm nor deny any details for any operation without the presence of the secretary. So I guess you'll never know. But anyways, in case my name didn't give it away, I am not from the U.S. I was born in Spain, and I moved to the U.S. when I was around 12, and it was a big deal for me, especially because my parents did not know how to break the news. So I just remember them explaining to me, it's going to be a career opportunity. You're going to be bilingual. School is going to be great. School is going to be great. Kids, it's going to be so much easier. American kids have no homework. Spoiler alert, that was bullshit. And it's going to be a temporary thing. It's going to be 3 to 5 years max. Spoiler alert. I'm here, so that was also bullshit. And finally, my dad goes, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be like a Disney movie. Any Disney fans out there tonight? Yeah? I'm a Disney fan too. So I walked out of that conversation and I thought to myself, the average parent in a Disney movie doesn't make it past the 10-minute mark in any movie. So now I was concerned that I was going to move to the US and become an orphan, which was great. My sister, on the other hand, that was a completely different story. My sister, who was 5 at the time, she started crying her eyes out, and she claimed she would move out of the house and move in with a different family, just so she could stay. And then my parents were very overcompensating. They were like, no, it's okay, you're going to get a puppy. And I was like, oh, that's cool. My parents claim they don't have a favorite child. I'm allergic to dogs. And I've been for the past decade. So that was not a thing I was excited about when moving here. And so I asked Silamy, where are we moving? Because if you've seen any 90s movie, any American movie, and you've seen it in Europe, you'll realize that all movies are filmed either in New York, Florida, or California. So I was like, okay, out of all of those beautiful options, where am I going? I moved to the whitest town in Massachusetts. You know, the spirit of America, the place where they hunt Republicans for fun. Yeah, it's great. And also, I moved in the middle of January in 2013, which was the worst blizzard in 20 years. So moving in with 5 feet of snow was really fun. But hey, at least I knew that the Disney movie I was walking into was freaking Frozen. And every time I would complain about how much I wanted to go home, my parents would just tell me to let it go. Exactly. All right, that was my bit. So thank you so much for coming tonight. Hope you had fun.
Yeah, you're not a good parent unless you gaslight the hell out of your children. I know from personal experience, you know. All right, our next stand-up comedian and final stand-up comedians. He's a very funny guy, vice president of the comedy conglomerate. He's been doing this for a long time. Give it up for Kanan Phillips.
Hello, everyone. This is my baby. Very passionate. Let's get excited up in here. Come on, let me hear ya. Oh, there we are. There we are. Okay. All right. I hope you've enjoyed the show. You know, the other day I was just, I was thinking my thoughts, and I was thinking, what would be the worst way to die? Like the worst way to die. And when I say worst, I'm not talking about what's the most painful, like excruciating. No. I'm talking about like what's the most disappointing, like unfulfilling. Like if somebody put that shit on a tombstone and just walked past and be like, "Ha, loser!" Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about this, and I came up with like 2 solutions. Like one, dying in your sleep. Like what, you couldn't even wake up? Couldn't even get up for the next day? You just like that? Yeah. And then the other one was kind of interesting because it was based off like an article. It was like, suffocating in a pile of horse shit. That happened. Like, there was this girl in like Canada, right? In Quebec. And she was like, she lived on a farm. She was like operating a tractor. And she tipped it over, and then the pile of shit just fell on her. That's it. What's your karma gotta be for that to happen to you? Like, would you fucking punt a baby? Like, what the fuck? Like, what's the funeral service for that? It's like, oh, God, it stinks. Oh, God, it stinks. Yeah. So that's death, in my opinion. Yeah. And then, like I'm a big guy, got some toughness, some tough. But I've reached that like certain level of fatness where I have like too much thighs and not enough ass. So it's just like this constant battle of like keeping my pants up. Like every 5 seconds, like, you think this is a fashion statement? No, I'm holding my pants up. But there's fat people problems, and then I also have white people shit. Because we're just so great. All right. But I was also thinking, because I be experiencing some white people stuff that just boggles my mind. And I've come up with like a little device, if you will, a little device. I call it the WSS, taking a whiz. Okay then. The whitey shit spectrum. Like on one side of the spectrum, you have what I like to call soccer mom white. Like where you are so white that if you you take something so simple, yet something that everything enjoys and just ruin it. Just suck the life out of it. Like you want an example? I went to go get some Chick-fil-A the other day. Chick-fil-A right here on campus. I walk in there, got me 2 chicken sandwiches, some chicken nuggets, and then went over to the milkshake section to get my milkshake. So I'm right there, I'm waddling. I get there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, give me a strawberry milkshake, sir. Right away. And I look to my left, I see 2 things. I see one drink machine that says lemonade, see another machine that says diet lemonade. 3 ingredients. That's all we had. We had water, sugar, and lemons. That's it. Diet lemonade, water, sugar, and Splenda? Oh! Who the fuck likes Splenda? Does anybody in here like Splenda? No. All right. But yeah, it was just crazy. So that's soccer mom white. Then at the other end of the spectrum, we have what I like to call redneck white. That where you take something that's okay, and then just put too much of it on it. I was driving the other day, going to work, and I got behind this car, and then on the trunk, he had a door on the side of the trunk. He had a door inside of another door. It was trunkception. What the fuck? Yeah, see, that guy gets it in the back. You ever put a gun rack on another gun rack? There you go. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's my shit. And I'm a transfer student, just some general information, and this is my 4th year here. My last semester, actually, as I will be graduating in May. Thank you, Tom. But yeah, man, out of those entire 4 years, I drank, but I always made it a moral thing, not to get addicted to smoking, because my parents, they split when I was still a baby. So yeah, and afterwards my dad, my biological father, he became heavy drinker, heavy smoker. So I was okay, we're not gonna get too on the shit, but I figure we're in college, we're gonna have some experiences. So and out of the 4 years, I've gotten high only twice. Both times, I was higher than the fucking clouds up there. I'm higher than that fucking disco ball is dead. And, the first time wasn't that bad, me and my buds were hanging out, took a rip. And then at some point I just kept hearing snapping coming from behind me. It was ah. Whoa. Then the second time. The second time was a lot worse. So I took another rip. And we were up there. Well, let me tell you what happened and what was this experience that I had. It was okay, we're tangled up here. There we go. But it was when it hit is because the way I thought it was okay, I get high, I can just ride it out for a couple hours and go home. That was not the case. When it hit me, it was every 1 minute felt like 3 minutes. I just remember at some point we were just going up. I was just moving up and down. Because in my head, it's if I do this, then it will get out of my system faster. I remember we were all around a bonfire. And then we were making hot dogs and shit. And then at just some point, I just waddled over and then started eating a bunch of hot dog buns. Like not even the hot dog, just the bun. Like buns with mustard. Yeah. Then we go inside. We're just chilling on the couch, right? And then I just started taking pictures of myself. Because I looked at myself in the phone, like, whoa. My hair is so curly right now, dude. It's so colorful. Keep in mind, there was no filter on my phone. I was just that high, but my hair was all colorful. And I just started taking pictures. And then after about 3 hours of what was just, walking back and forth to the kitchen. Because again, in my mind, if I do this, then it will get out of my system faster. So after 3 hours of this, which was really just one, I then proceeded to leave. And I got home, and then I just went to bed. And that was it. So yeah, that was my high experience. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Stay sexy, everybody.
You thought this bit was over, but it's not. No, it's not. This happened last Saturday at my house. This is a two-parter, baby. Here's what actually happened. This is the sober perspective of watching my friend Kanan here get high. He smoked that weed, man. And then we were all talking. This was at a bonfire. We're all just chilling, talking near the bonfire. Kanan sits there on the bench, stares into the darkness, starts giggling to himself. All my friend group just turns around and we're just like, what the, is he good? He looks at me and he says, yeah, dude, I don't know why, but why is it dark in both eyes? He had one eye closed and the other eye open, staring into the woods. Midnight. I was like, yo, dog, you're way too high right now. Do you need help? And he's like, no, I'm good. And then he gets up and then starts giggling and he's like, oh, dude, the world's flipping, dog. I was like, you need to sit down. He doesn't remember this. Eventually the night dies down and so does the bonfire, right? We go inside, tell Kanan to sit down. Kanan sits down, finally. He then abruptly gets up. I'm like, what? What's he doing? Then he proceeds to walk it back and forth from my bedroom to the kitchen. 45 times I counted. And then he would sit down every once in a while, just be like. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I gotta get it out of my system. I thought he was talking about demons. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I was like, are you good? He's like, no. And then, Kanan says he went home. In his car. He did not. Kanan went to sleep in my bed. I just heard him go, hey, you got in my bed, and he just said, vroom, vroom. And I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on, but I don't own a race car bed. Next morning, I just slept on the couch. I was like, I'm gonna let him tucker this one out. Next morning, Kanan's at work. I don't know where he went, my bed was vacated. I woke up at 11, he must have left super early or some shit. Dude had to work at like 9 a.m., works at D2. I think he was still high when he went. All I know is my bed was empty. I go to my roommate, I'm like, do you know where Kanan is? He's like, no. I thought you saw him. And I'm like, oh no, his car's gone. And we're just like, we got a wild Kanan on the loose. I don't know. Yes, I just wanted to offer my perspective on what actually happened. So yeah, that's all. I'm the president, by the way, so there's good reason for me to be in my apartment. So thank you guys. Can I get another round of applause for Kanan? He makes that shirt look so effortless. All right, Jeremy, host, I'll let you ride this one out for us. Okay, thank you.
Again, can we get another round of applause for Kanan and Layla Azana? Yeah. I'd smoke weed, but I still want that government job. I'm holding out for it. All right. Thank you guys again for coming tonight. Please thank the Milk Parlor. They've been great. They always host us. Round of applause. Again, follow our Instagram, comcon.vt, and other social media platforms. Yeah, there's also there's salsa night here. So if you stay for that, it might be a fun evening. I don't know. Also, the tip jar too. Come support us. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.